Hey guys, how you doing? So when it comes to sales, anybody that knows me will know I'm not a kind of sign up or hang up kind of guy. That's not my approach. I like to have much more of a conversational approach and help people to take an informed step forward, if in fact it's for them. And the subject of this video is that I actually had someone for the first time in a really long time hang up or click off Zoom. And it wasn't necessarily overly surprising. And the reason for that was that there was almost nowhere left to go on the call. And it wasn't that I had kind of deliberately set out to make this happen, of course. I was actually doing the call for a client, so it wasn't even for my business. But when somebody almost from the get-go presents lots of reasons why they can't do something, and it takes lots and lots of effort for them to kind of focus their attention on where they may want to go. And you kind of go down that path and you talk around what the offer is, and is that going to help them get where they want to get to? Yes. Tell me why you think that is, because I really wanted to understand if this was genuinely a good fit. You kind of get that rationale. I'd already pre-framed the pricing, which I don't often do actually, but because this particular person hadn't done the pre-call, which outlines the fact that there is an investment involved, I wanted to just get that up front out of the way, because if there was any kind of sticker shock, even at the modest end of the investment, I wanted to get that squared away, and we would come up with plan B, which would probably be to send some other resources or to another support community, rather than talk about paid services. But we got over that. We went through, and actually the monetary element didn't really come up as an objection. There are a few other things, but what was being presented to me was a logistical challenge. And it was a logistical challenge that was ridiculous, because it's something that could have been resolved. I mean, it was physically logistical. I can't do this because of that. Well, it would literally take you an hour, maybe 2 hours, to sort out this particular problem. Do you agree? Well, yeah, I guess so. So ultimately, having kind of addressed this on multiple occasions, I just got to the point where I said, well, it strikes me that we're at that point where you need to make a decision here. And the decision is this something you want to do? Because if you do, we're absolutely all in on helping you make that happen. And if you don't, that's absolutely fine, but we can't help you, and we can just simply part as friends. And the response to that was, yeah, click, all over. And so we had kind of, it'd been one of those difficult calls. The guy was running here, running there. And I kind of slowly reined him in and kind of gone through the pitch element, gone back through the finances, got the chap to select the level of service that was most appropriate for him. And then it was, doing the dance. And eventually you just kind of, you run out of options. There's no real logical reason not to be able to go ahead. There wasn't an emotional reason not to go ahead. There didn't seem to be a financial reason not to go ahead, but there was just stuff that was being hidden behind. And eventually just kind of, you have to say, I wouldn't recommend this for everybody, right out of the gate anyway, which is this something you want to do? If you want to do it, we'll find a way to make it happen. And if you don't, we're kind of done. And so to get to that point, I kind of had to hang in there. And if you've heard me speak before, you'll sometimes have heard me say about staying in the saddle, because it can get a bit uncomfortable, because you kind of have to peel the onion of people's reasons, excuses, rationale, objections, call them what you will, for not moving ahead. And so having done that, it then didn't come as a surprise that I couldn't move this person on in their way of thinking, to get them to where they said that they wanted to go, all the way through, and then all of a sudden they didn't, and we were done. Anyway, this is going to happen more and more, guys. I honestly think that as the market tightens up, that if people don't honestly have a real urgent problem, when you're selling at high ticket, you're going to find a couple of things happen. One is people may come along and just have a look. People may show interest, but then not show to calls, or they're going to go through the whole thing and to get as much information as they can to solve their problem. And then they're going to try and wriggle away behind a whole number of things. And more we're going to have finance. We're going to have timing. The timing is not right. And at the point of recording, we're just coming up to mid-October. So for many people, that means that you're going to be going into Thanksgiving and the holidays on one side of the Atlantic. Over here, we've got other stuff going on, probably around the world as well, but certainly in the UK, we are under a constant barrage of fear and uncertainty in terms of what's going on. The daily threats of economic meltdown in the financial markets, which is proving challenging for a great many people. So while all this is going on, it feeds into people's mind, and then you have this mindset shift. So we have to be prepared to write it out and to be able to dig into what's really going on to get to the real thinking so that we can try and help. Because if you just take that first up thing as being 100% true and clear, you're probably going to come up without a client and without being able to serve that person and to help them move beyond their problem, whether it be life, business, relationship, whatever. But you're not going to be able to serve them. You're not going to be able to get a client, and it's largely going to have been a waste of time. I hope this has been helpful. Be brave, hang in there. Don't fear asking pertinent, incisive questions. If you've got any questions, you know where I am. Come ask them. I'll be happy to help.